Most people are walking around this world like prisoners, not locked behind bars, but trapped inside their own weak minds. They build muscle, chase money, and try to look powerful, but their minds are soft, fragile, and undisciplined. You can lift heavy weights. You can wear the best clothes. But if your mind is weak, you're already defeated. The battlefield isn't in the gym, it's in your head. And most of you haven't trained for war. Your mind is the most dangerous weapon you'll ever own, but only if you sharpen it. You can't expect to win in life if your brain is working against you. Every excuse, every doubt, every fear is a result of a mind left untrained. The problem is nobody is coming to train it for you. You have to do that work yourself. You train your brain when nobody's watching. You train your brain when you're tired, when you're broken, when the world is telling you to quit. That's when the real work begins. But most people tap out. They listen to that little voice that says, take it easy. That's the voice that's been killing your dreams your whole life. Weak minds are built in comfort. If you want to build a mind that can't be broken, you have to throw yourself into pain on purpose. You have to seek out the suffering. Wake up early. Study when you're tired. Face your fears head on. Every time you do what you don't want to do, you're rewiring your brain to become a weapon. Training your brain is about doing the hardest when you don't feel like it. Nobody cares how tired you are. Nobody cares how busy your life is. Your brain doesn't care either. It will either become your greatest ally or your worst enemy. And that choice is made every single day through your actions. If you can't pray for a stronger mind, you have to earn it through suffering. You can't read a book and suddenly become mentally tough. Mental toughness is built in the trenches. It's built through discipline. Every time you force yourself to push through pain, you're building the mind that will carry you through life when everything falls apart. When life punches you in the mouth, your muscles won't save you. Your money won't save you. Only your mind will carry you through hell. And if you haven't been training it, you'll break. You'll fold under pressure like every other weak person out there. Every single morning is a chance to train your brain. That alarm clock goes off, your mind is the first enemy you have to fight. Are you going to hit snooze? Or are you going to win that battle? Every time you wake up and move when your mind tells you to rest, you're building a savage mind. You can't wait for motivation. You can't wait to feel ready. That S is never coming. The only way to train your brain is through action. Get up, move, study, suffer. And when that little voice tells you to quit, push harder. You have to starve the weakness out of your mind. Every time you listen to your excuses, you're feeding the weakness. But every time you push through, you're starving it. That's how you build mental strength. That's how you become unstoppable. Your body can only go as far as your mind will take it. That's why so many people never reach their potential, not because they're not strong enough, but because their mind quits long before their body ever does. The mind is the limit. Break that limit every day. Most people live their whole lives as slaves to their emotions. They let fear, doubt, and laziness control them. But the ones who train their mind, they become dangerous. They become the kind of people the world fears. If you're not training your brain, you're training yourself to lose. You're training yourself to break when life gets hard. And if you're not sharpening your mind every single day, you're already losing battles you don't even know are coming yet. A trained mind doesn't care about pain. A trained mind doesn't care about failure. A trained mind only cares about one thing: getting better every single day. That's the standard. That's the contract you sign with yourself when you decide to become mentally unstoppable. Don't just build a strong body, build a mind that can be broken. The real war isn't out there, it's inside your own head. And every single day, you're either training your brain to be your weapon or you're letting it be your weakness. Take the time to train your brain, because in the end, your mind will be the reason you either win or lose the war. Your mind is your greatest weapon, but only if you sharpen it. Most people spend their whole lives chasing strength in their body, but they leave the mind weak. They think muscles will save them, but a weak mind will break you faster than a weak body ever could. Your mind controls everything. If you don't sharpen it daily, they're already defeated before the fight even starts. The mind is the commander. The body is just a soldier. Every excuse you make is a sign of a dull mind. Every time you say you're tired, every time you quit early, that's your mind showing you how weak it really is. The mind will always find a way to protect you from pain, but that's exactly why you need to sharpen it. Pain is the grindstone that turns your mind into a weapon. You can't sharpen your mind with comfort. Comfort makes you soft. Every time you take the easy route, you're making your mind weaker. You need to put yourself through hell on purpose. Wake up earlier, push yourself harder, force your mind to obey, not your feelings, not your emotions, but your discipline. A sharp mind isn't built overnight. It's built through daily suffering. Every rep, every run, every hour of study. It's not about the task, it's about the mind you're building. The task doesn't matter. What matters is the person you're becoming by doing what you hate. That's how you sharpen the mind. Nobody is born mentally strong. You have to forge it. You have to break the weak version of yourself over and over until the only version left is the one that can't quit. Your mind is like a blade. The harder you grind it, the sharper it gets. The pain you're avoiding is the very thing that will sharpen your weapon. Most people will never experience what their mind is truly capable of because they never push themselves far enough. They quit at the first sign of pain, but the pain is the gateway. You have to break your mind to rebuild it stronger. Every time you push through, you're sharpening that blade a little more. Your mind is the only weapon you will have when everything falls apart. Muscles will fail, money will disappear, people will leave. But if your mind is sharp, you'll survive anything. The world will break weak minds. The only way to survive is to sharpen yours before the storm hits. Training your mind isn't something you do when you feel like it. It's something you do every single day, no matter how you feel. You don't get to negotiate with your mind. You command it. You push when you're tired. You grind when you're broken. That's how you sharpen a weapon inside your head. Most people want a sharp mind without the pain. They want the strength without the suffering, but there are no shortcuts. The only way to sharpen your mind is through suffering. You have to bleed for it. You have to suffer every single day until that weak voice in your head gets quieter and quieter. Your mind is either a weapon or a prison, and you're the one who decides which one it becomes. If you're not sharpening your mind, you're letting it rust. You're letting it become the very thing that holds you back. But if you're grinding it every day, you're turning it into something the world fears. Nobody is born with a sharp mind. You build it through repetition, through suffering, through discipline. Every time you force yourself to do what you don't want to do, you're sharpening the blade. And if you're not sharpening your mind every day, you're choosing to stay weak. The world will break you if your mind isn't ready. Life will hit you harder than any workout ever could. If your mind isn't trained, you'll fold under pressure. But if you've sharpened your mind in the shadows, nothing out there will ever break you. Pain will come, but you'll be ready for it. Your mind isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. You don't have to accept the weak mind you've been living with. You can break it, you can rebuild it, but only if you're willing to suffer for it. Every rep, every mile, every cold morning, that's how you sharpen the mind. Most people walk around with dull minds their whole lives. They never test themselves. They never push past the pain, and they wonder why life breaks them. But the ones who sharpen their mind every single day, those are the ones who become unstoppable. A sharp mind doesn't care about pain. A sharp mind doesn't care about fear. A sharp mind only cares about one thing, becoming stronger every single day. That's the standard. That's the contract. Either you're sharpening your mind or you're letting it rust. Mental toughness is built in the shadows, not in the spotlight. Nobody becomes mentally tough when the cameras are on. Mental toughness isn't built when people are clapping for you. It's built when you're alone fighting battles nobody will ever see. The real work happens when there's no spotlight, no applause. Just you versus the weak voice in your head. That's where the war is won or lost. Most people only work hard when the world is watching. They need validation to keep moving, but that's not mental toughness. That's weakness in disguise. The strongest minds are built in the silence. They grind in the shadows when nobody is watching because they know the real fight is with themselves. You don't become mentally tough by showing off. You become mentally tough by showing up when nobody gives a damn. When the alarm goes off at 4 a.m., nobody's clapping for you. When you're studying late at night, nobody's posting about it. It's in those lonely hours that you decide who you're going to become. Every time you push through the pain alone, you're building something nobody can take from you. The world can't give you mental toughness, and it can't take it away. You earn it in the dark when nobody's watching, and it shows up when the pressure is on. That's why so few people have it, because they only grind when eyes are on them. Most people are addicted to attention. They want people to see their hustle. They post their workouts, their late nights, their grind, but when the cameras are off, they disappear. Mental toughness isn't about what the world sees, it's about what you do when the world isn't looking. In the shadows, there are no excuses. Nobody's watching. Nobody cares if you're tired. Nobody's coming to save you. It's just you versus you. That's where mental toughness is born, in the quiet moments when you're the only one who will ever know if you quit or if you kept pushing. The hardest work will always be unseen. The cold mornings, the lonely nights, the workouts nobody will ever hear about. That's where mental toughness is built. Most people skip those moments because there's no reward, but those moments are the reward. That's where you earn the mind that will carry you through hell. But when you're grinding in the shadows, you're not just building strength, you're building confidence. Confidence comes from knowing you've done the work when nobody was watching. Most people are afraid of pressure because they know deep down they haven't paid the price. But when you've suffered in silence, you're ready for any storm life throws at you. You can't cheat the process. The shadows expose who you really are. If you only put it in work when people are watching, you'll break when life gets hard. But if you've been grinding in the dark for years, you'll walk through fire without flinching. Mental toughness isn't built in front of crowds. It's built in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the pain nobody will ever see. The shadows will either break you or build you, and the choice is yours. Every unseen rep, every lonely mile, it's all carving out the mind that can't be broken. Nobody will clap for you in the shadows. Nobody will thank you. And that's exactly why most people quit. They need validation to keep moving. But the ones who build their minds in silence, they're the ones who become dangerous because they built something the world didn't even see coming. When you're alone in the dark, that's where you meet the real version of yourself. No filters, no applause, just a weak voice in your head trying to pull you down. That's the moment when you either quit or you break that voice and rise up. The shadows are where you earn your respect, not from the world, but from yourself. You either walk out the shadows a savage or you walk out the same weak person you've always been. Every rep, every mile, every hour alone, it's all writing the story of who you're becoming. Mental toughness isn't built in the light, it's built in the dark. When the world finally sees you winning, they won't understand what it took. They won't see the suffering, but you'll know. And that's the power nobody can ever take from you. Pain is the classroom where mental strength is built. Pain is the greatest teacher you'll ever have, but most people will never sit in its classroom. They spend their whole lives running from pain, looking for the easy way out. What they don't understand is pain isn't there to break you, it's there to build you. Every time you avoid pain, you're choosing to stay weak. But if you embrace it, pain will transform your mind into something unstoppable. Nobody wants pain, but pain is the only way to grow. Comfort won't build you. Rest won't harden your mind. The only thing that will break the weak version of you is suffering. Pain is the fire that burns away your excuses. The more you run from it, the weaker you become. But the second you lean into it, that's when the transformation begins. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your coach. It teaches you how to suffer and keep moving. It shows you how much more you're capable of. But most people will never learn those lessons because they quit as soon as pain shows up. The second their legs burn, they stop running. The second their mind starts screaming, they back off. That's why they'll stay weak. Mental strength isn't built in comfort, it's built in suffering. Every rep past the point of pain rewires your brain. Every extra mile when your body wants to quit is breaking down the weak version of yourself. Pain isn't there to punish you. It's there to introduce you to the savage you were always meant to become. The mind is like a muscle. It only grows when it's pushed past its limits. Most people have never felt their true limits because they've never suffered long enough to find them. Your mind will always quit long before your body does. Pain is the only way to stretch those limits and build something stronger. You don't learn who you really are when life is easy. You learn who you are when your lungs are screaming, your legs are shaking, and every voice in your head is begging you to quit. That's the classroom where mental strength is built. The weak mind will tap out. The strong mind will stay in that classroom until the lesson is over. Most people think pain is a signal to stop. Winners know pain is just the beginning. The first wave of pain is where the weak quit. But if you can push through that wall, you'll find there's another level inside you. Pain is the door, suffering is the key, but only a few are willing to unlock what's on the other side. Pain is the price you pay to upgrade your mind. Every workout that breaks you down is rebuilding you stronger. Every early morning that steals your comfort is giving you something most people will never have, an unbreakable mind. But you'll never earn that strength if you're not willing to suffer for it. You don't have to like pain, but you have to respect it. Pain doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're broken. Pain only cares about one thing, whether you're going to quit or whether you're going to push through. That's why pain separates the weak from the strong. Pain will teach you more about yourself than any book ever will. It will show you every weakness, every fear, every excuse you've been hiding behind. But if you stay in the classroom long enough, pain will break those excuses down and rebuild something bulletproof inside of you. Most people spend their whole lives trying to avoid pain, but pain is the very thing that will set you free. If you're not suffering every day, you're not growing. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not evolving. Pain is the doorway to the strongest version of yourself, but only if you're willing to walk through it. Pain is the currency of mental strength. Every rep, every mile, every hour of suffering, you're paying a price to become someone the world will never break. But if you're not paying that price every single day, you're choosing to stay the same weak person you've always been. You can't buy mental toughness. You can't fake it. You have to bleed for it. You have to earn it in the trenches when nobody's watching. The world will never see the suffering, but they'll see the savage that suffering built. Pain is the classroom where mental strength is forged. Most people avoid pain their whole lives and they wonder why they stay weak. But the ones who embrace pain, they become something different, something the world fears. Pain is the invitation most people will never accept, but the ones who do become unstoppable. Pain isn't there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you. Every time you suffer and keep going, you're unlocking another level of your mind. Most people will never know what that feels like. But if you're willing to suffer, you'll discover the strongest version of yourself hidden beneath the weak one. Your mind will quit long before your body ever does. Your body is a machine, but your mind is the one pulling the plug. Most people don't even know what they're capable of because they listen to the weak voice in their head. That voice will lie to you every time. It'll tell you you're tired long before you're even close to breaking. The truth is, your body has more left, but your mind is too weak to find it. The mind is built to protect you, not push you. It wants comfort. It wants safety. The second things get hard, your mind will scream at you to stop. But that's not pain, that's fear. That voice isn't there to help you, it's there to keep you weak. Most people live their whole lives being controlled by that voice. The moment you feel tired, your mind will tell you you're done, but you're not even close. You're only at 40%. The other 60% is locked behind suffering. And most people will never find it because they quit the second things get uncomfortable. They never break through the lies their mind is feeding them. Your body doesn't quit, your mind does. Your legs will keep moving long after your mind tells you to stop. Your lungs will find more air if you force them to. Your heart will keep beating if you're willing to suffer for it. But you'll never know what you're made of until you break the chains your mind has put on you. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the gateway. When your mind is screaming at you to quit, that's when the real battle begins. Most people give in because they think pain means they're at their limit. But pain isn't the limit, it's the door. The ones who break through that door find out they had another gear inside them the whole time. Your mind is built to quit. That's why you have to reprogram it. Every time you push past what your mind says is possible, you're rewriting the software. You're proving to yourself that the voice in your head is a liar. The more you break that voice, the quieter it gets. That's how mental strength is built, one broken lie at a time. Every time your mind tells you to stop, you got to make a decision. You can believe the lie, or you can push through it. If you choose to push, you'll find out you're stronger than you ever imagined. But if you quit, you'll stay exactly where you are, weak, soft, and full of regret. Most people will never reach their full potential because they never fight back against their own mind. They listen to every excuse, every complaint, every weak thought, and they let it control their life. But the few who break that voice become dangerous. Because once your mind stops controlling you, there's nothing in this world that can break you. When you're out there suffering, the battle isn't with your body, it's with your mind. Your legs will burn, your lungs will scream, your heart will pound, but your body will keep moving if you force it to. The mind will always quit first. The ones who become unstoppable are the ones who never listen to that voice. You don't find out who you are when everything feels good. You find out who you are when your mind is begging you to quit. When you're alone in the pain, that's where you either break or you rise. The mind will tap out long before your body does, but only if you let it. If you want to build an unbreakable mind, you have to suffer every single day. You have to force yourself into pain on purpose. Every workout, every run, every late night, every cold morning. That's how you teach your mind that quitting is an option. You break the voice by making it suffer. The more you suffer, the stronger your mind becomes. Most people spend their whole lives running from pain. But pain is the only way to unlock the 60% you never knew you had. The weak mind will always tap out early. The strong mind will keep pushing long after the body is screaming to stop. Your mind is like a wild dog. If you don't train it, it'll control you. It'll bite you every time things get hard. But if you break it, if you dominate it, that mind will become your greatest weapon. The ones who own their mind are the ones who own their life. There's a savage locked inside every single person, but most people will never meet him. They quit long before that version of themselves shows up. But the ones who push through the pain, the fear, the suffering, they wake that savage up. And once that savage is awake, he'll carry you further than you ever thought possible. Consistency is the weapon that breaks weakness. Consistency is the most underrated weapon in the world. Everybody wants quick results, but nobody wants to show up every single day when nothing is happening. Weak minds chase motivation. Strong minds build consistency. Discipline is the only thing that separates the weak from the unstoppable. The ones who show up every day, no matter how they feel, those are the ones who break weakness. Most people only work hard when they feel like it. They wait for motivation to carry them. But motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Consistency doesn't care if you're tired, if you're broken, or if the world is watching. It only cares if you're showing up. Every day you show up, you're breaking the version of yourself that used to quit. The mind hates consistency. It wants shortcuts. It wants results without suffering. But the truth is, the longer it takes, the stronger you become. Every day you show up when nobody's watching, you're building something the weak will never understand. Consistency is what separates the talkers from the doers. And when you're consistent, you're telling your mind that quitting isn't an option. You're rewiring your brain to obey your standards, not your feelings. Most people will never understand that kind of power because they only move when they feel good. But the real killers move when they feel nothing at all. Every rep, every mile, every cold morning, every late night. Those moments stack up like bricks. Consistency builds a wall around your mind that weakness can't break through. The weak will crumble under pressure, but the consistent ones stand tall because they've suffered every single day to get there. Consistency doesn't care about results. It cares about repetition. The weak mind wants instant rewards. It wants validation, but the strongest minds show up day after day, even when there's nothing to show for it, because they know the real reward isn't the result, it's who they become in the process. Most people quit because they don't see progress fast enough. They think showing up for 1 week should change their whole life. But consistency doesn't work like that. It breaks you down slowly. It grinds your weakness into dust until there's nothing left but an unbreakable machine. Consistency is the grind nobody wants to talk about. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy. It's lonely. It's painful. But it's the only thing that will separate you from the rest of the world. Most people will never master consistency because they're too busy chasing quick fixes. The mind will always try to negotiate with you. It'll tell you to skip one day. It'll say you're tired. It'll tell you to take a break. But every time you listen to that voice, you're letting weakness win. The consistent mind doesn't negotiate, it executes. No excuses, no breaks, just every single day you show up, you're casting a vote for the person you're trying to become. Most people quit before they ever see what they're capable of because they never stay consistent long enough to find out. The only difference between winners and losers is who showed up more days when they didn't feel like it. Consistency is how you build an unstoppable mind. It doesn't happen in 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 year. It happens through years of suffering in silence. Nobody will clap for you. Nobody will cheer you on. But one day, the world will wonder how you became so unbreakable, and you'll know exactly how you built yourself in the dark. Weak minds chase intensity. Strong minds chase consistency. Anybody can go hard for 1 day, but can you suffer for 365 days straight? Can you show up when you're broken, tired, and alone? That's what separates savages from the rest of the world. Consistency is the weapon that breaks weakness. When you master consistency, you become dangerous. You don't need motivation. You don't need praise. You don't need anyone to believe in you because you know the secret. Consistency will always beat talent, genetics, or luck. The ones who outlast the pain are the ones who win the war. Most people will never see what they're truly capable of because they quit before the transformation happens. They tap out when things get hard. But the ones who suffer every single day, those are the ones who unlock a version of themselves that nobody can break. Consistency is the contract you sign with yourself, not once, but every single day. Nobody will ever know how hard you work behind closed doors. But one day, they'll see the savage that consistency built. And when they ask how you did it, you'll smile because they wouldn't survive one day inside your routine. The mind is the only prison that can hold you back. The most dangerous prison isn't built from steel or concrete. It's built inside your own mind. Most people are trapped and don't even realize it. They're walking through life with chains around their potential, locked behind fear, doubt, and weakness. The bars aren't physical, they're mental. The only difference between the weak and the unstoppable is who breaks out and who stays locked inside. Your mind will lock you inside your own limits if you let it. It'll convince you that you're not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. It'll whisper every excuse, every lie, every reason to stay exactly where you are. But the truth is, you're not trapped by your circumstances. You're trapped by your own mindset. Nobody was born weak. They were programmed to believe they were weak. Society hands out excuses like candy. Blame your past, blame your genetics, blame the world. But the second you accept those excuses, you've locked yourself in your own prison cell. The only way out is to take full responsibility for breaking yourself free. Most people will live and die behind the walls their mind built for them. They'll never see what's possible because they never had the courage to question the lies their mind told them. They think the walls are real, but the truth is those walls only exist in their head. The ones who break free are the ones who realize they were never locked in to begin with. Your mind wants to keep you comfortable. It wants to protect you from pain, from failure, from suffering. But comfort is the prison that kills more dreams than failure ever will. The second you choose comfort over suffering, you've handed the keys of your life to your own weakness. Every excuse you believe builds another wall inside your mind. I'm too tired, brick. I'm not built like that, brick. It's not the right time, brick. Before you know it, you're surrounded by a fortress of your own excuses, and you'll spend your whole life wondering why you're still in the same place. The only way to break out of that prison is to break your own mind. You've got to tear down every excuse, every lie, every weak thought that's ever controlled you. Pain is the sledgehammer that shatters the walls. Suffering is the key that unlocks the door. But most people will never pick up that hammer because it hurts too much. Your mind is the warden, and it will never set you free willingly. It will fight to keep you weak. It'll whisper every reason to quit, every excuse to play it safe. But every time you push through that voice, you're breaking another chain, every rep, every mile, every sleepless night. That's how you earn your freedom. The only limits that exist are the ones you believe in. The mind will always try to convince you that you're not capable of more. But that's because it's scared of who you'll become if you break free. Most people never escape because they rather live in a comfortable prison than suffer for their own freedom. Freedom isn't given, it's taken. You have to break yourself out of that mental prison every single day. You have to wake up and fight the same voice that told you to quit yesterday. The ones who break free are the ones who never stop fighting, no matter how loud that voice gets. Nobody's coming to unlock that door for you. Nobody's going to carry you out of your own prison. If you're waiting for someone to save you, you'll die locked inside your own mind. The truth is, you're the only one with the power to break yourself out. But most people would rather wait for help than suffer for their own freedom. When you break out of your mind, you'll realize the only thing that was ever holding you back was you. It was never your past, your genetics, or your circumstances. It was the weak version of yourself that you refused to kill. The day you break out is the day you stop blaming anyone but yourself. Most people want freedom without suffering. They want success without sacrifice. But freedom has a price, and that price is pain. Every time you suffer, you're breaking the chains your mind built around you. The more you suffer, the more free you become. Once you break out, there's no going back. You'll see the world differently. You'll realize 99% of people are still locked inside their own mind, and they didn't even know it. But you'll know what it feels like to live without limits. That's what makes you dangerous, because nobody can put you back in that cage but yourself. Your mind is the only prison that will ever hold you back, and the only way out is through suffering. Break the chains, tear down the walls, kill the weak voice inside your head, because once you're free, nothing in this world can ever stop you again. Train your brain, free your life. Your mind is the battlefield where every war is won or lost. Everything you're searching for, success, discipline, power, freedom, it's not out in the world, it's locked inside your own brain. But most people will never find it because they're too afraid to break the chains holding them back. They live and die in the prison their own mind built, weak, broken, and wondering why life never gave them what they wanted. Nobody is born unstoppable. Nobody is born with mental toughness. It has to be built. One painful day at a time. You don't train your brain by reading books or watching videos. You train your brain by going to war with yourself every single day. You train it by showing up when you're tired, by pushing through when your mind is screaming at you to quit, by choosing suffering when nobody's forcing you to. Most people will never understand what you're doing, and that's exactly why you'll win. The journey to mastering your mind is lonely. Nobody's going to clap for you. Nobody's going to tell you to keep going. This isn't about proving anything to the world. It's about proving everything to yourself. Your mind is the only prison that can hold you back, but it's also the only weapon that can set you free. The secret isn't in your body, it's in your brain. When you train your mind, your body will follow. When you master your thoughts, you become unstoppable. The weak will always chase comfort. The strong will always chase suffering because they know that's where freedom lives. This is your life, and nobody is coming to save you. You can either spend the rest of your days locked inside your own mind, or you can break out and become something the world has never seen before. But if you're going to do it, understand one thing. It will hurt, it will break you, it will push you to the edge of who you are, and that's exactly the point. The only way to unlock your potential is to suffer for it. The only way to train your brain is to go to war with yourself every single day. No excuses, no shortcuts, no breaks. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. The pain will either break you or it will set you free. Now it's time to make a decision. Stay trapped in your own mind or break out and build the strongest version of yourself the world has ever seen. Nobody's coming to unlock that door. Nobody's coming to carry you out of your own prison. The keys are already in your hands, but only you can suffer enough to earn your own freedom. Train your brain, break the chains, free your life. The war starts now.